on today's show,
I bought another G-Shock.
But first, today's shot comes from Tiote_Paris.
Seiko some cream, anyone?
This is a superbly framed shot of the SNX-73. Another awesome Seiko 5 built to run and forever. Oh, but he's really bringing the summer season in, isn't he? That beautiful silver watch is contrasted with some luscious strawberries. What a good shot, and it's a pleasure to have it on the Seiko showcase. If you'd like to be on next week's show, all you gotta do, find me on Instagram here and tag me in on one of your Seiko posts. Who knows? Next time, the star of the show could be you. So yes, couldn't help myself. I bought another Casio, been wanting one of these for a long time. Watch out. Well, it's the work powerhouse, the SKX-013. I've got it back on the Uncle Seiko Tropic strap and it is feeling great. What an iconic,
Slightly too small
stunner.
If you like the content and want to support the channel, in the description below you'll see a link to buy me a coffee. Lord knows I need a lot of caffeine when I do these things, and if you'd like to fill me up on caffeine or keep the sweet straw nice and stocked, I'd appreciate the support.
So in 2019, a new G-Shock was released that made everyone go nuts for it. You couldn't buy one of these for love nor money. I personally didn't fancy it at the time. I wasn't into G-Shocks as I am now. Thought it might have been a bit too big for me, and I didn't believe the hype, you know. We are, of course, talking about the Casio G-Shock GA-2100. So yes, it does feel like this watch has been around for ages. All over Instagram and YouTube, and people can't get enough of these things. Now, you may not know this watch for its reference number. The watch community has given it a lovely little nickname, the Casioack. The main reason, it's octagonal bezel, just like the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak.
Casio Royal Oak.
Casioack.
Get your watch out.
Now this is an Annie Digi watch, and I found G-Shocks that were Annie Digis in the past to be big ugly. However, this one looked to me like function had gone out the window for the day and we were all about the looks. Hello. Yes, it is a very attractive G-Shock, and another reason why this is so popular. That doesn't mean to say it's not tough. Still can take a beating, still 200 meters of water resistance, and offers the same functions, if not a little bit more, than your basic G-Shock Square. But since 2019, Casio have decided to bring out this watch in all sorts of colours. Now, me being quite traditionalist, I don't tend to go too out there when it comes to colours, you know. I do like a black dial watch. I may go towards blue, but that's as far as it goes. So I thought, you know what? Let's get a striking coloured one. Obviously not this one. I'm not that brave. But I went with the camo bezeled one. The big question is this Casioack good enough
To be the new king in my Casio G-Shock collection.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Are you ready? Let's go! So first off, in the hands, it feels like a G-Shock, you know? There's a decent enough weight to it. I think it's only about 50 grams. But doesn't it look good? So many angles and three-dimensional things going on in that dial. I do love that camouflage bezel. Nothing wrong with a bit of camo, is there, Arnie?
There's nothing wrong with camo on the face, unless you're made of liquid metal. Yeah.
So we've got our standard resin G-Shock case. We've got 4 pushers at the 2, the 4, the 8 and the 10. The one thing I can see straight away is how much smaller those lugs are than my 5610. I know on paper that this is a big watch, but that might help the fit, you know. The other thing I noticed is that strap. It's almost identical to the 5610 with a couple of differences. One, the strap seems to come down straight from the case, which is good because on the original squares, they come out and they make the watch look quite bulky. So that's a good thing. The other thing is you've got quick release spring bars. Turn the watch around and we have a typical 4 screws in each corner, but we have this logo I've never seen before, Carbon Core Guard. Yes, that's right. To cut down the weight of this watch, the resin case has been thinned and carbon type plastic has been squished in too. You still get the same toughness, but not so much on the weight.
Clever Casio.
Quick spec check. Okay, so we got a 45mm diameter. But on the plus side, we've got 49mm lug to lug, and it's just under 12mm thick. The strap on the outside is 25mm in width, but turn it round and it's 16mm. Okay, like all models of G-Shocks around this price, you get a mineral glass protecting the dial. What it lacks in its toughness, it certainly gains in its non-reflectiveness. So let's talk about that dial. So we have this stepped and sloping chapter ring, and then cut into it are these awesome hour blocks. This is another reason why I liked this reference, because I really like that brownie colour of these markers. Okay, let's talk about that day complication at 9 o'clock. To me and the wife actually, that hand does look like a pencil sharpener, but it is kind of cool. This is another nod to form rather than function, but it's definitely quirky to this watch. Yes, if you want a symmetrical dial, this is not the one for you. But there's not too much that it makes it confusing at all, you know? So just below that slightly fatter 12 marker, in orange we have printed G-Shock. And I really did love that touch on this reference. And at the 3 o'clock we can see WR20 bar. I've got to say, I really do love the handset. It's another reason why I chose this reference. It's got like a faux patina khaki to the Lume inside those hands. They are sword shapes, but I love that black counterbalance of them, you know? Okay, so below the handset and to the right, we have this digital screen. It's that negative display. I've sort of had hit and misses with negative displays. Some you can read, some you can't. I think this is slightly in between. The screen is slightly small anyway. I'd love the good old-fashioned normal screen, you know, for my old eyes. But as you can see at the top of that screen, we have the time, and below it, we have the seconds. So, Lume on the hands, that's it. Let's see how it does in the Lume Flux Challenge. I haven't got the foggiest idea why G-Shock haven't put Lume on the markers. If not just the 12 o'clock, that would definitely give us some superb legibility. But hang on, maybe the backlight will illuminate that dial. No, it just lights up that screen. Gone to the trouble of putting Lume on the handset, why can't it go anywhere else? Powering this puppy is a Casio 5611 ANI-Digi quartz movement. So in here you've got your world time to 26 countries, you've got your stopwatch, you've got your countdown timer, you've got 5 alarms. Sometimes the hands can get in the way of that screen and make it even more awkward to see, okay?
But that ain't a thing.
Because all you got to do is toggle the bottom left and the top right together, and that pushes the handset away from the screen. If you want to set the time, all you need to do is keep your finger on the adjust button, keep it held down for a long time, and then both hands will get away from that screen. So first of all, we have a time zone to choose from. Obviously I've got London. Then it's the DST, whether I want it on or off. Then it's whether you want 12 or 24 hours. Then we can change the seconds, and then the hours and minutes, then the year, day and date, and then whether we want the ketone sound on or off. And then the light gives us 2 options, whether we have the backlight on for a second or 3 seconds. I do love my backlight, so I'm going to keep it on for 3. When we're all done and happy, we just press that top left button and watch the magic work. Yes, to operate this watch is a little tricky. It's not like your 5610. You got to use your noggin a little bit to get this working. But you know, once the time is set, you don't have to do it again. On my 6.5-inch wrist, and you know what? That don't look too bad, does it? Yes, it's a 45 diameter, 49 lug to lug, just getting away with it. But because those lugs are so small and the strap goes downwards from the case, it's actually quite comfortable.
I'm quite surprised with that, you know, because,
I thought it was going to be a big mother.
let's face it, it's still a big watch. Hello.
So let me show you a little comparison between this bad boy and the 5610. So as you can see, there is a difference in size. I've fallen in love with that 5610 because it's not too big. The structure of the resin case and the strap does have a lot of similarities to this watch. So you do get the essence of the original G design, but in a really cool modern way. It's thinner than the 5610 too, which makes it hug the wrist a bit more. 2 G-Shocks, one made purely out of function and the other watch using that functionality from the 40 40 years it's been going and making something rather fashionable and stylish. We can't say that it's better in function than the 5610, nor that it's very legible, even if there's two ways to read the time. So when I compare these two watches that are very similar priced around the £100 mark with the 5610, I not only get that look of the original from 1983, but I get upgrades such as the atomic clock,
multi-band 6.
so the watch picks up radio signals to give me accurate time. Not only that, it's solar powered. I probably don't have to look at getting a new battery for at least 10-15 years. In the Casioak, I do have world time, but it has no multi-band 6 function and you can't get them with solar powered movements. But it's stylish. I don't know about you, but I still love my 5610. If they made this watch slightly smaller, I might be interested. And
NWC! Casio have just released some new smaller Casio.
really? Hold on. I've got to see this. They've made a new smaller Casioak apparently, and it's okay, so that's the ladies' ones. That's nice, that's good, I like that. Pretty, aren't they? Rose gold and everything. And what? G-Shock absolutely shot themselves in the foot here. These are purely marketed to just ladies, which really grinds my gears. You know, men shouldn't be just blue and women shouldn't be pink, or in this case, rose gold. And for Casio not to have made, you know, a plain black one with white indices
It's madness.
Here we go, the wife's first impressions of the watch. Are you ready? I like it. But I don't know why you chose the G.I. Joe one. Are you trying to be in a boy band or something? What are you, H from Steps? Overall, this is a cool watch. The functionality of it is a little bit tricky and the legibility sometimes can be difficult too. But why should that stop us from loving it? From me, the Mad Watch Collector, I'll see you in a tick, 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 a tick.
Every little second, every hour, every minute.